Billion Dollar Idean Podcast. McDonald's or Burger King? Hey, welcome back. This is the Billion Dollar Idean. Jermaine Johnson here. Your business, my thoughts. Let's build a business together from the ground up. I'm glad to be here for another exciting podcast episode to share my business insight with you. From years of doing business, helping businesses, being a partner in business, and also failing in business. That's all part of business for some. I don't believe you have to be a failure to be a winner, but sometimes we get our best wins from some failures, as the saying has been for years. So today, our topic we're talking about on this podcast, McDonald's or Burger King. Let's put it another way. Franchise or reinvent the wheel. What do you want to do? Do you want to start your own business directly from the ground up, as a part of my saying, let's build a business together from the ground up? Or are you interested in an improving concept that already works? Franchising. Many years ago, I started embarking upon opening a franchise. So I looked at several different franchises that were out there that were available, and I went to a franchisee meeting, and that's what they call a franchisee when you're seeking to be a part of the franchise. And the particular meeting I went to, it was a lot of valuable information, and I'll tell you the company I went for. It was for Quiznos. At that time, this was about 2000, maybe about 2006 to 7, somewhere in that frame. And I was thriving in the real estate and mortgage business at that time. And I was looking for other ways to expand my ever-growing revenue that I was making in real estate and mortgage. And so what I did, I said, let's start looking at a retail space. It may have even been 2005. So I started looking at some franchise opportunities. I looked at the ones that were most affordable. Really, I looked at them all, but one that seemed quite affordable based on my means was doing the Quiznos. And I'll get into some figures about the different ones, but from going to that meeting, there were several other people there who were interested in opportunities. And from going to that meeting, it was really a great eye-opener about their processes and things that are real, because some of the things I had done were I created myself, so I was creating the process. The process wasn't perfected, but when you trust me, when you get with a big time franchise, the process is already perfected. So many people will look forward to a process where you can have it perfected. So sitting in that meeting, I had some of my potential partners with me at that time, and we absorbed a lot of stuff. So what I'm going to also do today is I remember at that particular point what the figures were, and I think the figures are roughly still pretty similar today. So I'm going to talk about a couple franchise opportunities that are available for people. I'm not currently promoting any of these, but of course, if you like to sponsor, you're welcome to do that. But I just want to give you some business insight about them, so maybe it's something you never thought of. Remember, a franchise or reinventing the wheel. So since I started off with Quiznos, I'm going to let you know how much Quiznos franchise fee is. The franchise fee for Quiznos, this is pretty current as of April 2016 that we're in. The franchise fee for Quiznos is $25,000. $25,000. Now, some of you may say you don't have the means for $25,000. I can understand. I've been there when I didn't have $25,000. And I've been there when I did have $25,000. Then I've been there when, again, I didn't have $25,000. So these are just the numbers. Quiznos, the franchise fee is $25,000. Now, they have several other fees. I definitely admonish you to go find out on your own, do some more investigation. But I'm just going to give you a couple hot spots. So a business that kind of competes in that same market as Quiznos is Subway. Now, one thing I will note, the difference between 2005 to 7, whenever I went and looked at that Quiznos opportunity, is that Quiznos, this popularity, in my book, this is not official stats, has faded. They seemed to came on strong and was taking business away for a while, possibly from Subway. Now, Subway seems to just have been able to hold form over the years, and they survived that storm of dealing with Quiznos, because I've seen a few Quiznos close down, but I still see Subways popping up. In fact, I probably can't tell you where Quiznos is currently in my area. But a couple years ago, I could tell you where they were all at, because I used to have, my little meetings there for lunch. And I thought I was eating kind of healthy, but still eating, out. And I kind of felt that way with Quiznos. So that's Quiznos. So Quiznos, $25,000. Now, I want to tell you one thing about Quiznos currently. And this kind of leans to what I'm saying about Quiznos on the decline in my book. I'm not the NASDAQ. And I didn't check for their stock, but you can. And let me know at JerJoh, at Jer Joh on social media, on Twitter, on Instagram, at JerJoh. Let me know how the stock is doing, but performing. But Quiznos, $25,000 franchise fee I mentioned. But they have this little caveat right now, and to me, it's more of a smokescreen. So I'm gonna give you the verbiage: $25,000 currently, but they're slashing prices for people with prior restaurant management experience. So it's only $5,000, a whopping $5,000. I wish I had a Gilbert Gottfried voice right now. $5,000, Gilbert Gottfried, $5,000. $5,000. Now, to me, that sounds like a smokescreen because most of the time, although I had some, I guess, from my youth, some restaurant experience, definitely management experience when I was looking at the business. A lot of people who wind up getting into a food business probably already have some experience in it. So to me, that sounds like a smokescreen that business is dwindling in the franchise market. So they're dropping that franchise fee from $25,000 to $5,000 with the caveat if you have prior restaurant management experience. That's kind of vague language. 3 months, that's management experience. So I'm going to go on to Subway. Subway franchise fee, I already gave you Quiznos, is $25,000 with the subplot of $5,000. Subway holding fast at what their franchise fee was when I tried it several years ago. Actually, they may have increased. I believe it was $10,000, but don't quote me on that. Go find out for yourself. You're a business owner. Learn to do your own research. Or future business owner if you're watching the Billion Dollar Idean Podcast with me, Jermaine Johnson. Subway's franchise fee is $15,000. $15,000. Again, you may say I don't have $15,000. Again, I've had $15,000. I didn't have $15,000, and then I've had it again and didn't have. So whatever works out. So Subway, Quiznos, if you're looking to do something in the Subway in the sub sandwich franchise market. Again, we're talking about franchises versus creating your own opportunity. Okay. Now I'm going to move on to something else that's kind of popular right now. I will say pre-outbreak or pre-news in recent months. Mexican grill franchises. Directly Chipotle. Let me let you know, first and foremost, Chipotle, if you were doing commercials before, whatever had happened in the Midwest or somewhere with I believe some actual deaths due to the food, the meat, whatever the case was. I can't quote it. Again, you find out. But you get the gist of the story. I would go to the gym, work out, hit that steel, work out, get a little cardio in, and I felt good being able to, after I hit the gym, to go to Chipotle because Chipotle truly had they had some, the carby alternatives for, well, not even alternative, carby choices, but you had alternatives. So what I would do is I would get the fajita, the green peppers and the onions, and I would get steak and chicken, and I would get a little bit of sour cream in there, but I would stay primarily on my proteins. And I enjoyed that because I could sometime, if I wanted to so-called cheat that day, I could get a wrap. I could put that inside the wrap, and I really enjoy their food. But it's not about my, my dietary. I'm gonna give you some of the business fact numbers, but I used to like them. I haven't ate them ever since the outbreak. I'm terrified. Chipotle franchises are few and limited. That's right. Chipotle is very few and limited. In fact, when they first started out with Chipotle, they quickly became successful. So they held off on franchising. They said, hey, we're going to keep everything corporate. So actually now, if you want to get a Chipotle franchise, not going to happen, buddy. Unless you're one of the early people who got in early, you're not getting a Chipotle franchise. They're keeping Chipotle corporate. So as I paired in the first part about the subs, I use Subway and I use Quiznos. I'm going to pair Chipotle, even though you can't really get a franchise now, with Qdoba. So you could maybe get an idea what the fee would be if you could still get a Mexican grill via the Chipotle. Their competitor, Qdoba, Qdoba, for those of you who don't know what that is. For those who don't know, sound like DJ Envy on the Breakfast Club. For those who don't know what Mexican grill is, can you please explain what that is? So, Qdoba, $30,000 franchise fee. Again, there's always other fees, but I'm just giving you the franchise fee. If you aren't familiar with franchising, contact me. I'll educate you a little bit more, or use the power of Google. So Qdoba in that Mexican grill market is $30,000 for the franchise fee. Same thing I said before. You may have $30,000, you don't. I've had it, I've lost it, got it back, lost it. That's the way business goes. So $30,000, that's one of the criteria for the franchise fee. Moving along to the classic American burger spots. Your McDonald's, your Burger King, and I'll hold off one. Go ahead, I'm going to let you know. Where's the beef? Between your teeth. Wendy's. Okay, so I'm just going to give you the stats on McDonald's and Burger King first on what it would cost as far as their franchise fees. Because remember, either you're going to start your own business via doing a franchise, or you're going to recreate the wheel. You're going to start the wheel. You're going to create the whole process. One good thing with going with these businesses that are always already established, it's already established how to do it. So McDonald's franchise fee, $45,000. Burger King, $50,000. Now, it's important for me to point out another stat. I'm going to bring it in on these that I didn't bring in on the others, okay? So let's backtrack to McDonald's. The franchise fee for McDonald's is $45,000. McDonald's also charges you a royalty of 12%. A royalty, the way a royalty works is on each thing they're going to get 12%. So on each burger, on each cup, everything they're netting 12% on everything that you do. 12% on everything. There's always a 12% royalty in addition to whatever any other fees. So franchise fee getting started is $45,000 for McDonald's, and the royalty is 12%. Now Burger King, the franchise fee is more, which is $50,000. But how much do you think the royalty is? Compared to McDonald's was 12%, it's only 4% for Burger King. So you can see that royalty override at McDonald's is. And these are the things you have to figure out. So if you ever stepped in a room, if you were deciding between starting a McDonald's franchise versus a Burger King franchise, which is the better deal for you? Just with that information, $45,000 franchise fee and a 12% royalty, or $50,000 and a 4% royalty. Well, it depends on how many burgers, fries, shakes, and sodas and apple pies you can sell at each of these establishments to make the best deal. But you would then want to ask yourself, how many McDonald's do you have per capita, per square mile? How many people? There are a lot of factors go into it. But if we just went with a simple answer, you take the $50,000 franchise fee with Burger King, and you sell a lot of burgers, and you get a lower royalty at 4%. Now, Wendy's. Remember McDonald's, $45,000 franchise fee. Burger King, $50,000 franchise fee. Wendy's coming in a little lower than both at $40,000. Now, Wendy's is $40,000 and their royalty is 4%. Now, I know in the regions that I'm typically in, there are far less Wendy's than there are McDonald's or Burger Kings. So Wendy's, then you have to ask yourself, are you going to be able to push out and make the amount that you would with, say, a Burger King or McDonald's? And in some cases, you probably can. So if you're looking for best so-called bang for your buck without any other details, the $40,000 franchise fee and a 4% royalty doesn't seem too bad. So now check it out. You're seeing what the different numbers are, and you have to decide, do you want to buy into a system to become a business owner via a proven system and proven systematic methods, or do you want to reinvent the wheel? Some people want to reinvent the wheel, and I'll tell you, after looking at your balance sheet week after week, month after month, day after day, and you see, for instance, if you're McDonald's, you're paying the 12% royalty. You may start eating at yourself. Say, if I created something, I would definitely wouldn't have to pay a 12% royalty. But are you going to create the next or bigger than McDonald's? That's the trade-off. So sometimes I have a term that I often use. It's called the cost of doing business. And the cost of doing business, and you want to be in business with McDonald's, a proven faction that works. It's a wheel. If you can getting a franchise is almost like this, particularly these ones that have established themselves throughout the country and honestly throughout the world. If you can do something as simple as go to a store, get something you have to assemble, read the directions and put it together, that's what owning a franchise is like. It's like going to the store, putting something together, and making it happen from there. So it's totally up to you what you can do, what you're going to do. But you have to assess yourself, and this is where that self-assessment comes in. And, one like myself, the Billion Dollar Idean, can help you with that assessment of how you're going to assess what's best for you. Do you have something that's burning so deep inside of you that you must bring to the world? Or are you just a person that's looking to make a couple dollars, a lot of dollars, $1 billion, You're a person looking to make a lot of dollars. You want to be able to start a business to help nieces, nephews, your children, your spouse, or you looking to push an idea? Because some people are what I call more of an artist or creators, and those people are more inclined to build a business from the ground up together with me. But no, they're more inclined to build a business, so-called reinventing the wheel, because they want to do it their way. Then there are other people who just slide right in. Now you have to ask yourself, if you buy into a franchise, are you really the term people like to throw around? Are you a boss? Are you an owner? Yes, you are. But are you completely independent? I'm going to say no, you're not. But at the end of the day, what becomes most important to you? Is it the money that you make? Is it the power that you have? Because when you're a franchisee, you're still answering to the corporate office, and they won't let you do certain things. So you have to order their sleeves of cups, their papers to fill the fries with. You have to get their box cartons from their distributor to put the burgers in. It's a systematic process. So you're dealing with their brand. So they are allowing you to buy into their brand for a share. It's kind of like a concept. Stay tuned. I'll tell you about that later. You just got to keep watching. But they're allowing you to buy into their system for a fee. And they're willing to partner with you. And they've created the system. All you have to do is follow the instructions. They even down from advertisement to accounting to software to equipment. The process is there for you. If you're willing to make an investment in a franchise, they will help you. So if you're having that difficult task, you have some money, you want to invest in a business, you don't know which way to go. At JerJoh, ask me some questions. I'll try to help you out. This is the Billion Dollar Idean Podcast, and you can find us online at www.billiondollar.idean.com. This podcast is available currently on SoundCloud and also on YouTube and other formats coming. It depends on what point you hear this message, but as always, you have to decide what works best for you. So I'm Jermaine Johnson, the Billion Dollar Idean. Let's build a business together from the ground up. Share this podcast with family, friends, and folks you don't even know. We appreciate you tuning in.